crack. Alright. Yeah. Sheesh. Arriba. Okay, yeah.
Alright, what's good, y'all? We back with Grease Battle TV. We got another episode of Genie Talks. We have a special guest, Brenton Saylor, CEO of Mile High Minute. And we're gonna get down to it all in this interview today, man. So yeah, tell us about your childhood, bro. Where you from? Grow up.
So I'm originally born in Fort Collins. I lived there for like 3 years. I don't really remember it, to be honest, 'cause I was so young. Right. But then we moved to lived in Nevada for a year, Wyoming for like 2 years, and then I moved to Portland when I was like 8. And I've been in the Denver area ever since. Really spent most of my school years, high school and shit like that, in Nevada and Portland. And then all over though, Wheat Ridge, Broomfield, Westminster. Really all over up there, and then I moved to Denver 2 years ago.
How do you like it out here?
I like it, honestly. It's cool. I like being closer to the city and having more shit to do.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, it's all the same shit in a way. I guess there's more traffic and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So basically, I want to ask you, what really inspired you to even create Mile High Minute? I did some research on you. I saw that before, you were doing the music stuff.
Yeah.
You were basically vlogging thrift shopping.
Yeah.
So how'd you get into that transition? What inspired you?
So when I was young, my mom used to take me to thrift stores all the time, and we used to she used to always cop these Celtics jerseys or just teams I didn't like. So I was low-key a Lakers fan growing up.
Right.
So I was like, what am I gonna do with this? I'm not gonna like that. I don't like that team. I was like, wait, what if I create an eBay account and, you know what I'm saying, start flipping clothes online? So I started thrifting, really learned that from my mom, started flipping clothes and stuff like that on Etsy, Poshmark, Depop, everywhere, Instagram, Snapchat, and then I don't know, I was 3 years into it. That was kind of what I was doing in high school and then college a little bit. And then I started noticing rappers would hit me up for merch and shit, Bitches Weird or whatever.
Right.
You started with local rappers up north, Shower Steve's and Young Fiji, Tri-City Chino, Lil Baby, like that.
Okay.
And then I was kind of already linking up with some rappers, you know what I'm saying, and merch. And I was already a huge fan of No Jumper, Say Cheese, you know what I'm saying, all the blogs and shit, the big ones I say. So I was if I start doing interviews, you know what I'm saying, bring it to Colorado, because over the years I realized there were some Colorado interviews before Mile High Minute, but it was out of state people doing it, or people do 3 interviews and then, you know what I'm saying,
Weren't really taking it serious.
yeah. So I was like, damn, I might as well just I see the niche for it, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause there's so much talent out here. And everyone wants to rap, which is cool, but I was like, there's so much talent, there's gotta be a demand for bloggers or interviewers, you know what I'm saying? So I was in my room, wrote down an idea, told a couple homies, and just ran with it ever since.
Okay. So would you say you've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, it was my 4-year anniversary on March 30th, so just over 4 years.
So in your journey, from year one and now, what are some of the struggles, you know what I'm saying, that you face from? I know you've grown tremendously, you know what I'm saying, throughout these 4 years. So what was it like in the beginning? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at the beginning, to be honest, bro, shit, I was sleeping in my car, bro. I was sleeping on my homie's couch, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to find a way. I always knew I had it in me, I want to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
But the money wasn't always there, you know what I'm saying? My mom kind of got kicked out of our apartment up north. And she, know, had to go up to like Wyoming and stuff, and my dad was kind of out of the picture, definitely financially. So it was like a struggle. So those were some of the struggles at the beginning of my army. It was like, you know, how am I gonna do this without making money? Because you know, when you first start,
Exactly.
you know, I'm not making no money off it. But then like I ran into some cool people who definitely like helped me get started. I would say, you know what I'm saying? Like homies and shit. My bad. I feel like I'm kind of going on a tangent. But as far as like obstacles, or like struggles, I would say like definitely just like I said, financially at first, figuring out a way to do it while not really making money, right? You know, living a normal life. But then as time went on and like the age grew, the struggles kind of shifted from like a financial struggle to more of like a mental struggle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people, they don't really know you. They like assume things about you. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, they just talk. Like, but I kind of learned to realize like if I'm gonna put my business out there, like you know, not everyone's gonna like it, and everyone, you know, they have their own opinion. So just like, you know, when I first started getting hate, it was kind of like, man, I don't know if I can handle it. But then I realized like I'm putting out rap lists. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm giving my opinion, so people can have their own opinions, and I kind of stopped taking it like personally as much. You know?
Right, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Plus, if you're like, you're too worried about what people think, it kind of suppresses you. You can't even really do your job fully. I feel like.
No, that's fair. Because there were times I remember when like I dropped like I think my second rap list, because the first one don't really care. It's a weird story. The second one though, started built some bread. I saw all over Facebook, everyone was talking spicy. And like usually like it was cool, but there was a couple in there. And I was like, damn, people assuming shit about me, like saying the crazy shit about me that is like some people even be capping, like just saying the most crazy shit that don't even make sense. Like I ain't even heard of it. So like I go to the mountains and just chill out for a little bit and just reflect myself and relax.
You think those people are mainly like people who are actually really doing this shit? Or are those just people who really dibble dabble and they just always have an opinion on social media? Because I know there's a difference. There's some people who really take the music seriously and drop it consistently. And there's some people you might see here and there, but they always have an opinion about everything that's going on.
I feel like at first it was usually people I was, like you said, they weren't really like working or had like a spot in the scene, I guess, out here, for like a better terms. But I don't know, it's all kind of people. Those people you used to grow up with, you know what I'm saying, that they believe in you, or, you know, put on you. There's people that, like you said, there have been, you know, a couple times where it's like a well-known artist who actually works hard, you know, but usually, that don't happen too often. It's usually people that I feel like, you know, assume things about you because they don't know you, or like maybe a little envy there type thing, you know.
Right.
I was just, honestly, bro, I pray for you. Like everyone, bro, I pray obviously for my family and friends, but I pray even for people who really felt the type of way on me, just cause like, I don't know, I just want to send out positive energy, you know what I'm saying?
What's the craziest thing you ever got in your DMs from an angry fan or an angry rapper?
That's a good question. I've never been asked that. Damn. I mean, I remember when I went to Texas a couple years ago, I got like random profiles talking about like, oh, you know, like saying some racist shit about me, and then like, or like people saying they were like, reading on Colfax and crazy shit.
Oh, really?
Like, just random, and it'd be like the random accounts. I'm like, but usually it's just funny stuff like, oh, I'm just like, you know, whatever, just like.
Does it be random, or does it usually come after you drop the controversial content? Like the list, or to certain things that would irritate, you know, certain things people feel entitled, like they feel like they need to be argued, you know what I'm saying?
I'd say usually when I drop like a list, or like, you know what I'm saying, I post some spicy on Instagram, people start commenting, you feel me? It's usually something like that. But, I mean, there's sometimes it's kind of random, I guess, but it didn't really start happening, obviously, until like, you know, 2-3 years into it, and like the platform started doing it.
Right. So, do you think like those negative aspects started coming more as Mile High Minute grew? Like, the more people realize that, like, yeah, this is something that people are looking at, something people are focusing on, you know what I'm saying? Like, it started to hurt people's feelings more, you know what I'm saying? Like, your word mattered more.
As the platform grew, yeah, for sure. Because, I mean, when I first started on it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? As obviously, like, the platform grows and you start connecting with people out of state and keep hustling and stuff, like, the opinion matters more. And that goes for anyone in the scene, I feel like, as you grow as an artist, producer, videographer, you know what I'm saying?
So at this point, would you say you have a passion for music or a passion for podcasting?
I would say I have a passion for business.
Passion for business.
Just as a whole, like, I like flipping clothes, you know, real estate, I like, yeah. But I definitely have a passion for rap music, just because, like, I wouldn't say I'll never become an artist. I don't think I'm good, and I also just, that was also part of the reason why I started blogging too, because I almost wanted to be a rapper, but I was like, I can't rap, so like, what if I just start doing interviews? That's, you know, I just talk. But yeah, I would say I love the rap music for sure though, like, just especially growing up, like, listening to like Future and shit like that, shit hard. And then business and honestly the city, bro, as a whole, I really love Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's definitely more or less me. I want to see like everyone shining for real.
So, when did you really see like Maha Mini start growing? When you really see your followers started progressively just counting up?
I feel like you never really like. I mean, there's a bunch of little moments, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I kind of just fell in with the process and didn't really pay attention too much to like, I don't know. You don't even really sit back and realize it sometimes. But
Right.
I would say there's a couple moments, like, I think the very first moment where I was like, okay, I'm on something. And not just me, but Maha Mini was on something. Where he's got Sean Connery and Say Cheese and
Right. That was crazy.
Like, I don't know, manifestation is real. Because I had DM'd him like 6 months before that. He never even answered me. Because he's, you know, big. He said cheese been around for like 8-10 years, something like that.
Probably has a million DMs.
Yeah. So he don't respond to that. But then I randomly was like, I'm gonna just DM him on Twitter. So I DM him on Twitter. I was like, come to Denver, I'll fly you out. I was kind of just throwing it out there. He said, I'm on my way right now. He was already on his way because he's going to the Magnificent Sixers game.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I was like,
that's super crazy. That's fake. That's fake. Honestly.
Yeah. I was like, we got to run that interview. So I would say that was probably the first moment where I was like, damn, I got Say Cheese tapping in. Like, this is something different. And then probably like, you know, really Chicago interviews, Billionaire Black, Savvy, like there's so many talent.
So were you nervous when you were first gonna, you know what I'm saying, link up with Sean?
Oh yeah, I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie, we had smoked before that too. I was tweaking. I was geeked up, but it was crazy because I watched so many interviews of him like that he's done on YouTube, and I've seen him on Instagram, so seeing him in real life was just like, it was definitely like eye-opening, you know, especially as like a blogger, because like he's kind of, you know, that A-list of bloggers, if you think about it, you know, up there for sure. So it was like definitely dope.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Next you gotta tap in with Adam 22. That would be so crazy, bro.
He's like, well, No Jumper is already my comments and stuff on their channel.
A word?
And like they interviewed Billionaire Black after me, so I think because I tagged her. I don't know, I said, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know for sure. We haven't like talked, but like, you know how the industry is.
Right.
But hopefully, no, yeah, one day that's definitely like, I'm sticking that out. One day I'm gonna get on there for sure.
I can see it. I can definitely see it, bro. So would you say like Say Cheese and No Jumper are like inspirations to you?
For sure, yeah. Zach TV.
Zach TV, rest in peace. Zach TV, man. Go.
All the Texas boys, dude.
Oh yeah, so how do you tap into Texas? That's another thing.
Yeah, so I did that. Actually, Sperry had commented on, or I had ran into his channel from just, watching different interviews. Yeah. And then Sperry, I commented on some of his videos, so he commented back. We started DMing, just, it's like, bro, we both were just showing love to each other, we like what we're doing. And then he put in a good word for Sean, too, behind the scenes. I didn't even know about that. And so it was kind of around the same time that Sean came in the weekend together. And then I think I went to Texas 6, 8. Well, Sperry actually flew out here to do some interviews. And then after that, I went to Texas 6 months later, I want to say. And I talked to blogs, some artists. Honestly, bro, I lost some footage too. So there's I did some big interviews down there that it's messed up on the hard drive. Hopefully one day I can get it fixed and drop it, but it's been 2 years now. So.
Right. So, what music do you listen to? You know what I'm saying? Both local and, globally, what music?
Honestly, bro, I really do my best listening to mostly Colorado music. And it's kind of crazy because all my homies talking about the Drake album today, and I'm like, I haven't really paid attention to it because I'm just so focused on what's going on in Colorado, honestly. But, I listen to everything, the whole rap scene, but as far as mainstream, Future's probably my all-time favorite artist for sure. The whole Atlanta scene, I fuck with, the Young Thugs and stuff like that. Texas, I fuck with Texas. I like Go Yayo and TSF and a lot of people in Texas. Cali's cool. I would say mostly Colorado, Atlanta, and Texas, probably what I'm most listening to.
Do you have a top 5 or a top 10 local artists?
Right now?
It's a hard question, but hey, I'd ask you, bro.
I definitely, the thing about dropping the list is learning a lot. But if I had to go top 5 right now, I'm unbiased. At least unbiased from my perspective, because people are going to still say he's biased. Right. But I'll probably say Tana at 1 right now. He's been working, jobbing. I think he's got the image, the sound. If he just gets the right people behind him, the right management,
right. For sure.
I gotta go Savvy. I think you gotta, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I think Savvy was a little harder a little while ago, but I already know he's been going crazy doing you still got to have a top 5, in my opinion.
Right.
And I want to go.
Put him on the spot.
Yeah, you do. Because I'm trying to think of how I want to look at it. If we're talking about numbers and stuff like that, you almost got to throw Creeper and Colorado Miracle, different people like that. But
right.
I'm going.
But you're personal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, personal.
What you like?
Tana, Savvy, AP. I want to say Diddy Polo, but I ain't gonna lie, I want to see a little more. I've seen too much from him recently, so. I know there's more on the way. Probably FBP Mo, and then. It's tough because you throw PPG really up there right now. He's going crazy. So, a couple different people. But yeah, Lil I really fuck with Lil I. I fuck with his music, he's cool.
I'm gonna have to tap in with you a little hard. So, what gets an artist on the Maha Minutes radar?
I said I think I need to work on getting more of a team so I can have more eyes and shit like that. It'll come together. But I would say, man, good music and just the overall, people don't understand there's an overall business around being a rapper, I feel I'm not even a rapper, so I really can only say so much. But I would say just obviously the talent's got to be there. That's first thing, you know what I'm saying? I feel but that's also, I feel, widely available in Colorado. There's a lot of talented artists, you know what I'm saying? But what else comes after that? business side of it, the promo, the marketing, the music videos, you know what I'm saying? Beat choice. And then you gotta network and connect. So I would say just work on the overall like business of the artist, like all around, you know what I'm saying?
Everything.
Aesthetically, everything. And then like, I mean, I'm not gonna cap, like, sometimes you gotta pay to play, you feel me? Like, you know, once you get to a certain level and you've been putting in the years, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit. I don't think anyone starts a business to not get money, you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone wants to get money at some point, so, shit, like, that's how I would say it. But even if, like, you know, I can't guarantee an artist is gonna blow by paying. I definitely help. And there's been artists that like if they get on the platform and make soul beats, soul features or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It happens. But I would say honestly the best way is organically networking, meeting up and just like working hard, you feel me?
Yeah. For sure. So how would like does Maha and how do you like put together the list? How are they decided?
I would say like it's got to be based off views, work ethic, overall like presence in the city.
Right.
So cloud, if you want to say that, you know, popularity,
For sure.
Connections. Like it kind of goes back to what I just said, like the overall business of the artist, like how are you doing all around, as much as you can. Now, I don't think anyone will ever drop a list that's 100% accurate because I feel like when it comes to rap and just music in general, there's so many different stats and numbers you can't really like, you almost can't compare people, but you can kind of like get a feel for, you know, who's popular, who's not.
Exactly. So would you say it's more based on numbers than talent? You know what I'm saying? YouTube views, Apple plays,
I feel like
comments and everything on Instagram. You know, the buzz, overall buzz, you know what I'm saying?
that's tough.
Because if there's somebody who's just as good as Drake and nobody know him, he still ain't gonna be on the list, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think talent is important for sure. Like that's, I mean, if you don't sound good, you can't really be on the list for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
But man, the overall buzz comes with a lot. Cause you know, I give my honest opinions on here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Pretty, but I don't think everyone. I'm just keeping it 1,000. I don't think everyone's like jamming people. You know what I'm saying? But let's be real. Like he had one of the biggest songs that Colorado's ever seen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, if they're doing billions on TikTok or YouTube video almost has a million, you almost kind of might have to throw them on the list, you know, even if, you know, people are going to jam 8 people or 10 or more.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, I don't know, I think they both go hand in hand. That's why the lists are so hard to make, because I've been debating in my head, like, you know what I'm saying? There's so many people that could be there. And then there's so many artists, so it's like hard to put over.
Then again, you have to ask yourself, what even is talent? Because something that sounds good to somebody else might sound like trash to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody might not even mess with the genre in the whole, and they only like country.
That's true.
You already know.
That's right.
With Maha and Minnie, you know, branching out to other states, what should the people expect Maha and Minnie to transform into? Because I feel like you're leaning towards a more, say, cheese, no jumper. You know what I'm saying? Even though your main focus is still going to be in Colorado, you're still going to be a very important person for us to have, you know what I'm saying?
I almost can't have it without Colorado.
Right.
Not almost, I can't. You can. But I would say definitely, I like to say cheese route. Yeah, I'm going to keep pushing out interviews. I feel like that's my bread and butter. And like the promo kind of helps keep me doing interviews because I really don't be making much off interviews, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, here and there, you can, like, people get booked or whatever, you get monetization on YouTube. But yeah, I would say definitely, like I have to keep doing interviews. It's like a show, you feel me? I don't know, like there's so many people to interview too, so. But I definitely, as I keep growing and like building up the brand, like I do eventually want to get to a point where I'm like paying people to just almost work for my money in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like an hourly wage type shit. I'm not trying to do it. It's like, I'm just keeping it down. It's kind of hard, at least from my experience. And a lot of it has to do with my own issues, I feel like, but it's been a little tough to like keep people on the same page and start a business. So my goal is build up enough profit where it's like, all right, I'm gonna just pay you, handle that and pay you to, you know what I'm saying? Kind of, you can do what kind of No Jumpers doing every day too, you know? Like he's got so many different moving parts of the business. They're dropping video after video every day. So like, yeah, just keep growing, bro. Like, and I'm in love with the process. You feel me? Like whatever happens, happens. You know, I'm trying not to stress it out too much. It's just like, just be in the moment and just keep going, you know?
So could you see yourself like, I don't know, getting an office space or something and running my minute out of the office and running a show out of there or something like that? Or
I mean, we've had a couple office spaces for sure.
work?
But and it just gets tough, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing, you know what I'm saying? Like every time, and that goes for any entrepreneur or businessman. I feel like it just how much you're paying for like rent or what have you is gonna make sense compared to how much you're making in a year, you know? As far as like business expenses, but you know, I feel like I've been learning how to be smarter with the money and like pay shit off, you know what I'm saying? Make sure I get my shit done right so that eventually I can like own some real estate, you feel me? Like have a whole studio type shit, you know what I'm saying? Even like put a recording studio in there and like just different shit. Like, that's all definitely the goal is for sure.
Most definitely, most definitely. So what I was gonna ask you, with like both local and, you know what I'm saying, big artists, YSL catching Ricos,
Yeah.
do you think it's safe for rappers to even tell their story anymore? Like, shouldn't we have freedom of speech, or
That's a
what
good
do you
question.
think about that?
That's a good question. But yeah, first off, like, if you keep it 1,000, like, what is freedom of speech? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's supposed to be our First Amendment. And, like, we feel sketched out, even, like, artists feel sketched out to, like, even make music and tell, like, stories and stuff like that, you know? And let's be real, yeah, I'm sure, like, there's a lot of people really living their life, but I don't think everyone's sitting there, like, getting into the details, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, there might be some people, but you know what I'm saying? Like people at the end of the day are just telling what they see, and that's a part of the First Amendment. It makes me even sketched out to do interviews, bro. Like I've had a couple iffy moments, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like I can't even compare to what it'd be like being an artist, you know?
Right.
Like, I just don't think it's cool, bro. Like I don't know. I think I shot in New York. I guess they passed some like bill. I don't know what's the exact details, but basically they're trying to lessen the amount of people when they get in trouble for their lyrics and whatnot. But at the same time, it's like I guess you know artists just got to take notes and like even interviews anyone that's involved with the scene and take notes and be smart about what you're putting out there. You know what I'm saying? Like. You don't want to snitch on yourself. You don't want to, you know, just do what you got to do, but be low key about it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But yeah, it's definitely fucked up. For sure.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
You gotta evolve a bit.
Because at this point, you know what I'm saying, everybody already said what they said. So now people are just like, you never know, you know what I'm saying? Everybody. Now you got people who already have groups like CMG. I'm worried about CMG. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a real group, 4PF, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Happy in Denver too.
it's sad though, because there's so much stuff that goes on with the different genres also,
Right.
but everybody wants to focus on hip hop. So
Yeah, it's low key kind of racist too on some real shit, because when you look at like rock and roll or like, what was that dude that Lil Uzi like? There's some rock, I forgot his name. Some crazy ass white dude used to be at the show butt naked, like fighting people and stuff, like all kind of crazy shit.
Sweet.
Like, but you know what I'm saying? Their lyrics are hella counter, right?
Right.
Kind of weird.
It's what it is. What we're going through nowadays. So, what do you think? What's it going to take for Colorado to really get noticed on the bigger level, in your opinion?
I think the talent's there. I think everyone's headed in the right direction. It's a process, and we're getting there. People are starting to know more, tapping more. But I mean, we all just got to keep pushing, you know, and everyone's got to do their little part in it. You know, I have a little part in it. You got a part in it. Everyone's got a different part in it. You know, we all just got to keep cultivating the scene. And I want to see. If I had to be particular, I would say I want to see more people networking and tapping out with people out of state. Whether it be like promoters, bloggers. I ain't gonna lie, I think bloggers and the new DJs are probably biased because I'm a blogger, but I think bloggers and the new DJs, I think bloggers are the ones having a big part in breaking people outside of labels and stuff like that, you know. We need to get more labels out here, there's a lot of things, bro, but we get into it.
Yeah, bro, you definitely doing your thing, bro. Like, I seen you really tapped in with Chicago, too, which is crazy. Because I just seen you did a Billy, his last name pronounced Cock.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to say
I know, I was
the Billionaire Black, Lil Reed, Sean Cotton. You know what I'm saying? I think that's dope, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is that? You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people that are like, you know what I'm saying? They be robbing people after interviews, and I've been seeing a whole bunch of goofy stuff. I've been watching 16 Shot in the same
Yeah,
shit,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
we were talking about that in our interview, bro. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, the Chicago interviews, you do kind of get a little nervous. Like when I went to Chicago, especially like I had drove down on the south side and stuff. Like I ain't gonna lie, it was different. It was humbling, but it was different for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And doing those interviews is like with the Billy Cox and like 16s and stuff. I was cool, whatever. Like they kind of cameraman. Like
The Billies is different though because along with FBG Cash, he's just been shooting his videos. You know what I'm saying? I follow Billy. We follow each other. You know what I'm saying? So I've been tapped in. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, I've been watching FBG Cash for forever, bro. Like that's sad. You know what I'm saying? And I know like when you got a personal connection, I don't know. You really be tapping in with people at good time. You know what I'm saying? And weren't you the first person to interview Lil Reese after when he got shot?
After. It was actually right before he got shot.
Oh, right before.
But it was like, you know, I'm glad he's okay.
Sure, shit.
But it was like a week before he got shot, I interviewed him, and I was dropping it as it happened. And like, people started commenting on it, shit like that. But then obviously, you know, he survived, so that's good. Good that he survived. But yeah, you gotta, just like people sometimes gotta pay me, I've had to pay people, you feel me? Like, it's just investment, it's a business.
Definitely investment. A smart investment.
Yeah. So like, I've paid for a lot of the bigger interviews on my platform. I've definitely paid for it, you know what I'm saying? Like, pricing depends, but like, some of them know, some of them show love, but it all just kind of depends. Billy though, it's got to be tough for him, especially shooting like some of the videos and stuff. It can get in your head a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, especially like, because I'm the type of blogger, like we can get into some interesting stuff, but I try not to like cross lines, you feel me?
Go too deep.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to, I already have enough drama here, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get, I'm not trying to be someone, I'm not trying to cross no lines. I still want to be respectful, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it gets tricky sometimes, especially the Chicago interviews, because like they've already had this culture of interviews and blogging and artists being so big. So it's like a different style, bro. Like, for example, you look at the Texas blogs, they post it. But it's kind of changed with Instagram, but they used to be posting fights and, disses, the crazy shit. But if you post that in Colorado, it's like people on your ass right away. You can do something that's like a tenth as bad as a Chicago or like a Texas blogger. but it don't matter, like, because Colorado ain't used to it, so they on their ass, bro.
True.
Like, for example, the list, they make noise in other cities, but people ain't, like, they used to it, you know, but listening, like, you know, competitions or what have you out here, people be impressed. And I mean, I could just be wrong because, like, I don't really know what it would be like in another state too much. I just outside in perspective, but
It's crazy is I don't even know what is the competition. Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is the competition? Last time I checked, only person, you know what I'm saying, that's really a millionaire from this shit, India from our place, from our area. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I feel like everybody, we should be helping each other because we all have a common goal. We all have a common goal. Yes, I podcast now. I'm still an artist, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do multiple things, like DDG, like AD from No Jumper. You know what I mean?
that's facts. I would say it's not. It really isn't a competition, but I feel like subconsciously kind of is in a way. Like no matter where you're at in life, you could be at work and you're competing with the next bartender or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the game out here, it's like we all show love. You feel me? It is all love at the end of it. Like I always want to show love to people, but at the same time, it's still like, okay, what is their numbers look for? You know what I'm saying? In a way, at least for me, like subconsciously. But I don't know, bro. Like there is no real competition, but it kind of is. Especially, I'm sure for like artists, you know, in a way, like we should all be more wanting to help each other out. But I think a healthy competition where we support it, but we're still competitive is cool. Just it don't need to get their line that don't need to be crossed. You feel me?
Like, we could do some cool things if y'all want to do verses, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's the only competition I feel like. I don't know, man. I don't even know. You trying to. I don't know, bro. Get somebody else out there. Yeah, I don't even know. It's hard to explain, you know what I'm saying? When you compete, you're trying to get a promotion or something. But nobody got the job yet. That's my point. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And there's people who are close. There's people who are doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? And everybody notices it. Shout out AP. Shout out Trevor. Shout out Troy Good. Shout out Jacob Campbell. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? Old Man Saxon. Shout out everybody who's really doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? All the locals. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta work together, bro. We gotta work together. And then once we work together, that's when everybody else is the money's gonna come. Easy. You see, Crip Mac, he literally, bro, he makes so much money off features, bro. I be tapped in. He gets bread off the features, bro. It will come. It will come, but we gotta get noticed together because.
Let's be real, there's a bunch of way more talented artists out here than Crip Mac. Shout out Crip Mac though, it's cool. Let's be, you know what I'm saying? Let's be honest.
Real talk, right? So, and you know what I'm saying, he's in the music hub. There's a whole bunch of everything, and he looks crazy.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize, bro, your whole appearance, if you look crazy, bro, you're gonna do some numbers. If you do something crazy enough, you tattoo your eyeballs, I promise you're gonna get a whole bunch of views. I ain't saying do it. I ain't saying do it, you know what I'm saying? But it's true though. It's true.
Even like when you look at like, you know, Savvy or Taylor, they don't do nothing too crazy, but you know, they always rocking the designer shoes or like, you feel me, like, got something cool going on with their hair.
You gotta stay fresh.
Yeah, like they're looking good, so it's all chains, you feel me, it's all an image, you know.
Rappers, when you pop out, stay fresh. Your image does matter. I don't care what nobody says. I mean, if you a J. Cole, yeah, that's whatever, bro. But stay fresh. There's nothing wrong with it. Because we build a culture here in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? We clean, we neat, we fresh. When we pop out, no matter what state we in, we're supposed to be dapper. You know what I'm saying?
Even vloggers, like honestly, a lot of times I'll be behind the scenes, behind the camera, but you know, when I tapped in with bro, shout out to Reese Bad TV first off. But when I tapped in with bro about the interview, I said, oh, look, you know, pop out some Colorado shit.
Yeah.
Colorado money. You know, shout me and Alton, you know what I'm saying, local brand. You gotta build that culture, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep showing money. But let's be honest, sometimes the competitions, if they healthy, they do kind of help in a way too.
Oh,
it gets people motivated. It gets people, oh shit, like what's going on in the scene out here? You know what I'm saying? Low key. Like I guarantee, like if I drop a list in a couple weeks or something, like it'll do its part. It'll motivate a little bit. I don't know if it's gonna have the same impact as years past, but it'll definitely. I'm sure it'll get some people like motivated and shit. I don't know.
Right. Another thing, if you're gonna compete against yourself. You know what I'm saying?
True.
That'd be the main thing. If you got 2,000 video likes or views on your last video, try to get 4 at the next one, and then on the next one try to get 8. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna find yourself having other people in competition with you, and then you wasn't even thinking about being in competition with nobody.
Become the best version of yourself.
If you think about Drake's story, they took his 2 homies and told Drake he was weak, the weakest one in the group. Now Drake is the biggest star in the world. So
I didn't even know that.
yes, kick Drake out of the group. They said no, can't be part of it.
That probably motivated him too. That's crazy. That's a dope story.
Yeah, bro. So, and I think it's dope. Who is your favorite, you feel me, celebrity that you interviewed? I see you got Peso. I don't know if you talked to Sauce, right? Did you talk to Sauce?
I already saw.
That's super dope, bro. So, like, who's your favorite person that you interviewed?
That's alright. We're talking like favorite interview as a whole, or like just celebrities, like people who are already popular.
The most, not like, who do you think is the most personable? You know what I'm saying? Like, who was you rocking with? Like, what was the interview that is flowed good? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I want to say Cheese one first, but I've already kind of talked about that one. So that Sauce Walker one was cool because like he just kind of gave me a lot of game. His energy, bro, like. Cause I ain't gonna lie, some of my interviews have been boring because I'm kind of like nervous and whatever. But like Sauce, like he's the type of artist that you want to interview because he's gonna make the interview, you know. So he's gonna go off, like
Bring his energy.
keep up. Cause I ain't gonna lie, like I don't like a boring interview sometimes when someone's like a guest isn't willing to talk too much. It's kind of like it kills it. You feel me? Kind of like, or even Billionaire Black, he was giving me like deep ass stories about him growing up like on 63rd and like, you know, recipes FBG Duck and FBG Brick, like he was telling me his crazy story. Yeah.
He's always like that too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He's always, you know what I'm saying? He got a cool personality.
Yeah.
Cool personality.
And he showed love, bro. Like he wasn't tripping. And even 16 Sean Visuals, like he was really like the dope thing about bloggers, bro, and people that do interviews and shit is like kind of, you know how it is, so you want to support it. For me, he was willing to show up to me even on my platform ain't even like close to as big as 16.
As he did for me. Shout out to that plug.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Shit, I appreciate you coming on. Just talking about that. You know, I would say probably those 3. I like the younger ones too. That I kind of
So, you know what I'm saying? What should people expect from you in the near future?
definitely more interviews. I got an interview with the pretty big Chicago artist about to drop here in the coming days for sure. So even might be out by the time this drops. So that would be dope. I got an interview with an Atlanta artist coming up. I don't really like giving names too much until they drop.
That's good.
Because I don't like jinx and shit, but also like you gotta. That's what Sean Clark told me, was like, don't promote an interview before it drops because you want people to see it when you promo and then be able to go to the video. That's what he told me. So, shit, Chicago, Atlanta artists. I still got a bunch of Colorado interviews. I always have Colorado interviews on deck for sure. There's some DJ out here that's going with Houston producers, so like I really just be trying to network out of state while still balancing Colorado interviews. I'm trying to do that. I don't know, bro. I'll be having like 4 or 5 interviews there all the time.
Man, I want to ask you, what advice do you have for somebody who is trying to do the interview thing, do the, content creating, you know what I'm saying, whether it's reaction videos or interviews, and also what advice do you have for an artist who's trying to get noticed?
I would say from like an interviewer perspective, I would say fall in love with the process and try not to like you said, you almost only want to compete with yourself. You don't want to like look at what you want to learn from other people. Because shit, obviously I learned from say cheese or whatever, but you don't want to like worry about where everyone's going, you know what I'm saying? Because we all at our own pace. Like, sometimes I'll be stressing myself out looking at like a flag, no jumper, say cheese, dropping 5 videos a day. I'm like, but then I'm like, it's a process, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm get there at some point. So.
But it also shows you the way, though. You know what I'm saying? Which is a good. I meant to ask you this earlier. How long did it take for, you know what I'm saying, you to start seeing monetization within Instagram, Facebook? I don't know what you got going on YouTube.
Yeah, really start with YouTube. I mean, if we're talking about like real like monetization, like ad revenue, I remember like after, I definitely didn't make a dime my first year. The whole first year was like nothing about nothing because we didn't really have services, more just doing interviews and see what happens. But then after like a year happening, where people slowly started booking us for interviews a little bit, or like, but it really wasn't much at that time. Music videos kind of at the time. But then like 2 or 3 years ago, once like 2 or 3 years, I would say 2.5, 3 years, I started doing promo and shit on Instagram. Well, I was always posting, but it was always just free at first. It was just trying to build a platform. Yeah. And then like 2.5, 3 years, I started charging on that. And then now it's kind of like based on demand. Like, so, I mean, even to this day, like now, I would say like I make decent enough money to like be able to help pay bills and shit, but it's still not where I want to be. But it probably took me like 2, 3 years, I would say, to like really monetize it. And as far as YouTube in specific, that took forever. So I really started my YouTube account in like 2008, but I had deleted a bunch of old videos, like snapbacks and stuff. But I remember, be careful with like fights and like just copyright shit, bro, because I remember they demonetized me for a while. Like, so I hit the requirements, like the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Yeah. But because I had too much like kind of bullshit on my channel, they were like, oh, you can't monetize you. So
damn, I got an old fight on there.
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't got to worry about it right now, but maybe at some point you might have to worry about that shit.
Oh, you might have to dig for that. That's right.
But,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like 2019, 2020 is when YouTube monetization really started kicking in. Like, but it wasn't much. It was just okay, I monetize. You know what I'm saying? I still don't even get checks every month. Like you have to break like $100 threshold every month to get a check. I've had a couple, but it's, you know what I'm saying? Usually when like you do a big interview or whatever.
Basically, you feel me? Tell people your social medias and anything you would like to promote.
Make sure y'all go follow Mile Minute on everything. Most importantly is YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, and comment, like, all that good stuff. Follow us on Instagram at milehighminute.co, Twitter at MHMDenver, Facebook Mile High Minute. And I would say TikTok Mile High Minute, but that's really it. Make sure y'all shout out Grease Bath TV. If you don't come on the show, you might as well go hop in the bag. Look at Greasy's I don't know. Yeah. Look at Greasy's but no, yeah, shout out you, bro. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Yeah, man.
Make sure y'all comment down below for Grease Bath TV. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure y'all follow. It's key on everything. And shout 3 in 1. I bless you for go bitch. And shout out all the artists doing their thing, man. Like, there's a lot of talented people out here. I appreciate everyone. I never take it for granted. Like, I really do appreciate all the support on a continued basis. Like, y'all really keep me going, so it's all love. And shit, I want to shout out a couple artists for sure. Tana, AP, Polo, Savvy, Mo, Diddy. Man, I could name 100 more. Papa J, there's like 100 artists. Just keep pushing. And y'all really got the talent and everything. It's key, you know what I'm saying? Like, just keep pushing. And shit. At the end of the day, you trying, so that's all that matters. You be able to look back and look at the scene, see what happens. And maybe inspire the next generation, you know what I'm saying? No matter how far we make it, who cares? We're doing what we love to do. So, yeah.
Yes, sir, man. There we have it, man. We had a great episode, you feel me? Grease Bath TV, you feel me? GD Talks, Brenton Saylor. Artists, tap in with me, you know what I'm saying? Let's chop it up, you know what I'm saying? Hop in the grease bag, get fried. Sheesh! Woo!
I'm finna get a crack. Alright. Yeah. Sheesh. Arriba. Okay, yeah.